my God. No, Kodak, you not Kodak. Oh my Kodak.
What was meant to be a simple food stop for Kodak Black turned into straight-up chaos. It all started when the cashier at the Pizza Hut decided to pull out his phone, probably trying to sneak a quick video or photo, but seconds later, things got wild. Reports say that gunshots suddenly rang out inside the restaurant, forcing Kodak to run for his life. But did he really make it out safe? You got to see this crazy footage for yourself. This wild Pizza Hut incident shows just how fast fandom can flip into danger. Before diving into the madness that went down on the night of February 15th, 2026, there's something major you need to get.
Oh my God. No, Kodak, you not Kodak. Oh my.
Kodak Black doesn't live an average life, not even close. Every single day for him is a mix of fame, pressure, and unpredictable moments that could go left in seconds. Want extra cheese? If those garlic knots want extra cheese, if those garlic knots are really worth the price, or if we should just go big and get that large pizza because, let's be real, it's getting finished either way. When you're a rapper with a record like Kodak Black's, every move you make feels like a gamble. The man's been carrying a heavy past, wild headlines, and a target on his back for almost 10 years. So for him, stepping into any public spot isn't just casual, it's a risk every single time. And on that night, things went from calm to chaos in seconds.
Bro, Kodak, I love you, bro. For
Kodak Black, real name Bill Kahan Capri, rolled up to a Pizza Hut like it was nothing, just trying to grab some food. He wasn't solo either. Right by his side was Miranda Johnson, the mother of 2 of his kids. The 2 looked like any regular couple out for a late night bite, totally chill, no drama in sight. The spot itself was typical, dim lights, a quiet counter, barely any customers around, the kind of scene where you'd never expect anything wild to happen. Kodak was dressed low-key, rocking a cap and casual gear, just blending in. He looked relaxed, like a man who just wanted his food and a quiet night. But that piece didn't last long. Barely 5 seconds, actually.
I'm gonna serve you food. I'll serve you food. I'll serve you food, please.
The second the cashier behind the counter locked eyes with Kodak, everything shifted. The whole vibe inside flipped instantly like somebody hit a switch. You could feel the tension shoot through the air. And in that exact moment, it was clear something big was about to go down. That right there, that sound, that sudden energy was pure shock. You could practically see the cashier's brain short circuit in real time. 1 second they were just doing their job, punching in orders and handing out pizza boxes, and the next, boom, they whipped out their phone and started recording like they'd just spotted a legend in the flesh. Excitement took over fast, and from that moment on, everything flipped. The vibe went from customer and cashier to fan and celebrity instantly. The worker wasn't just an employee anymore. They were a full-on fan caught up in the moment, completely forgetting where they were. All it took was 1 second, one decision, and the whole room's energy changed. A step back, calm, controlled, but ready to a step back. Calm, controlled, but ready to dip out. You could tell he was done before the pizza even hit the counter. The man just turned toward the exit, clearly deciding that no meal was worth the risk of being filmed in public without warning. He wasn't trying to make a scene, he was trying to stay safe. And sure, you might be thinking, come on, it's just a fan, just a phone, what's the problem? But that's where most people don't get it. For Kodak, a phone camera isn't about clout or fan love, it's about danger.
Come on, Kodak! Turn them off! Turn them off! Turn them off! Turn them off! Turn them off, Black! Turn them off, Black! Turn them off, Black! Turn them off, Black!
Because when you've seen what happened to PNB Rock, you understand that one innocent video in the wrong hands can turn deadly. So when Kodak spots that phone, he's not thinking about fame. He's thinking about survival. Kodak wasn't thinking about going viral, he was thinking about staying alive. And people online got it right away. The second the clip hit social media, comments started flooding in. Folks were saying things like, this is how they got PNB Rock. Others pointed out that Yak wasn't about to risk it, knowing exactly what that meant. They understood the real danger that comes when your exact location gets blasted online without your say-so. That kind of exposure can turn deadly fast. But then, here comes the twist no one saw coming.
I'm legit. How y'all doing? Yo, what's up, man? Yo.
What we doing? Come on,
Let's go.
Just as Kodak was seconds from slipping out that door and vanishing into the Florida night, something wild happened. The cashier suddenly called out his name, Kodak! Their voice shaking with pure panic. That sound hit the air like an alarm. You could feel the tension snap. In that one moment, the worker realized just how bad they'd messed up.
I'm a tall nigga, but I ain't this long, you hear me?
Their excitement had taken over completely, and it cost them their cool. The person they admired most was now literally walking away because of it. You could almost hear the regret in their voice when they stammered, "Bro, I'm gonna serve you food." It was awkward, desperate, and heartbreaking all at once. Kodak froze for just a second, staring back, caught between caution and confusion.
I got some shit for you, ass though. I can't wait to put it.
The whole room went silent. It was like time stopped right there in that Pizza Hut. One fan's excitement had just turned a normal food run into a full-blown scene. He turned back around. He didn't snap or he turned back around. He didn't snap or storm off. He just pointed at the menu, confirmed his order, and kept things moving. In seconds, what almost turned into another headline-worthy celebrity meltdown quietly de-escalated.
That's for you. It's a gift from me for you.
Thank you, my guy. Oh, we're gonna turn up.
Yeah, I know, bro.
Appreciate
I love you, bro.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just know this, bro. Like,
Yes, sir.
the people, we all love you, bro. We need you in this world, bro.
Most definitely.
You matter.
I need y'all.
Everyone loves you, bro.
For sure, brother.
We all love you.
Hell yeah, love.
And that's it, bro. You my boy.
Yeah.
For real.
I'm on you, man. I'm on you, man. Yes, sir.
The whole situation flipped from tension to calm. Kodak and the staff ended things on a surprisingly chill note with a quick fist bump and a few friendly photos. But even as smiles returned, one question still hung heavy in the air like a storm cloud. Was the cashier out of line, or did Kodak overreact? The truth? It's not that simple. Because to really understand why Kodak Black reacted the way he did inside that Pizza Hut, you've got to go way back to where it all started. Back to Pompano Beach, back to the projects, back to the days when a kid named Dusan Octave, the boy who'd later become Kodak Black, learned early that the world wasn't built to protect him.
Danny, where you going?
Security don't look that good, man.
Yeah, with me.
Security don't look too good.
Way back.
See, for Kodak, life didn't start with comfort or safety, it started with survival. The environment he grew up in taught him to always stay alert, to never let his guard down because danger could show up anytime, anywhere. That mindset doesn't just fade away when you get famous. It sticks with you, shaping how you move, how you think, and how you react when a stranger suddenly pulls out a phone. So when Kodak flinched at that moment inside the Pizza Hut, it wasn't paranoia, it was instinct. To him, that camera lens didn't just mean fame or clout, it felt like a threat, a reminder of everything he's had to fight through to stay standing.
Solid. What kind of right here. Back, gotta get a picture of the yaks and the black.
Kodak Black, born Dusan Octave on June 11th, 1997 in Pompano Beach, Florida, came up in a world that didn't give out second chances. He was raised in the Golden Acres housing projects where poverty wasn't just common, it was the air people breathed. His mom, a Haitian immigrant, did what she could to hold things together. But his dad, nowhere to be found. Life came at Kodak fast. And in his neighborhood, it wasn't about dreams, it was about survival. There were no safety nets, no backup plans, just the cold reality of the streets. You either figured out a way to make it or you didn't. Kodak once reflected on those early years and said he really only had two choices. Either hustle in the streets with a gun on his hip or rap his way out. That was it. Two doors, both dangerous, but only one offered a shot at something bigger.
I just want to say I love you, bro.
Man,
Whenever you want, you pull up on me, bro. Anytime, right?
Yeah, you know, my nigga.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
You want you to have a fun night tonight?
By the time most kids were stressing over homework, Kodak was already caught in the system. Expelled in 5th grade for fighting, arrested in middle school for auto theft. He wasn't even a teenager yet. And the world was already treating him like a lost cause. The system didn't look at him and see potential. It saw a problem to process, not a kid to protect. But even in the middle of all that chaos, something deeper was calling him: music! While the streets were whispering promises of fast money and faster trouble, the rhythm pulled him in another direction. He found something powerful in writing down his pain, turning his real-life struggles into raw lyrics that hit hard. Every rhyme, every verse was his way of taking control, of turning the life that tried to break him into something that finally made sense.
You got my heart, got my mind. I think about you all the time. You should.
By the time he was just 6 years old, he started calling himself Black, a name that would stick for life. And at 12, he was already moving through the streets with local rap groups like Brutal Youngins and the Coleons. These weren't ordinary after-school hangouts, they were his classrooms. He was learning the art of storytelling in trap houses, on street corners, and inside makeshift studios that looked like they were held together with duct tape and a dream.
Gotta see it, man. How you feel about it? How you feel about it? That, you gotta know it. My boy got the yak running with
Come
that
on, man.
yak.
Come on, man. You hear me?
The yakaroni with that yakin shit. Fuck that tough out. Yakaroni.
While others were counting money or bagging up product, Kodak was doing something different. He was reading dictionaries and thesauruses, building his vocabulary word by word. In the same rooms where chaos ruled, he was teaching himself how to bend language, how to flip pain into poetry, and how to make the streets listen. And then his music started hitting. The buzz around him exploded with his early mixtapes like Project Baby 2013 and the viral anthem No Flockin' 2014, a track that went crazy online and even caught Drake's attention. That cosign changed everything. Suddenly, the kid from Golden Acres wasn't just a name in Pompano Beach, he was everywhere.
You dig? Gotta have yak up here.
Don't run this city. Rhetoric don't run New York.
By 2015, Kodak had signed with Atlantic Records, stepping fully into the spotlight. His album, Painting Pictures, shot to #3 on the Billboard 200, and Dying to Live went straight to #1. His hits like Tunnel Vision and the 6x Platinum Z's took over airwaves, playlists, and parties across the country. Kodak Black had officially arrived. His voice, his flow, his story, unmistakable. But fame, as always, came with a heavy price. The higher his music climbed, the faster the trouble followed. While fans were blasting his songs, the headlines were stacking up. Arrests, court cases, and controversy that wouldn't quit. By the end of 2015, Kodak had already been arrested in Pompano Beach for robbery, battery, and other charges that started painting a picture of a young star fighting to stay free while the world watched every move he made. The trouble just kept stacking up. In 2016, Kodak was hit with charges for false imprisonment and cannabis possession. And that was only the beginning. More arrests followed in Hallandale Beach and Broward County, ranging from weapons and marijuana charges to an armed robbery case, plus a serious first-degree criminal conduct allegation out in South Carolina. It felt like every time he took a step forward, the law was right there pulling him 2 steps back. By 2017, probation violations had him locked up again, adding more time behind bars. Then 2018 rolled around and the headlines got even heavier. Charges involving child neglect, firearm theft, and felon in possession of a weapon. The chaos around Kodak's name just wouldn't slow down. And then came 2019, the year that almost ended it all. Federal authorities charged him with weapons offenses, and this time, there was no easy way out. He was sentenced to 46 months in federal prison, nearly 4 years for a young artist whose whole career depended on being out in the world, performing, recording, and connecting with fans. For someone in their early 20s, that kind of time might as well be forever. It was a crushing blow that looked like the end of his story. But then, out of nowhere, came a twist that nobody saw coming. In January 2021, President Donald Trump commuted Kodak's sentence after he had served roughly 10 months. A presidential pardon, something that sounds like a plot from a movie, not real life, and definitely not something you'd expect for a rapper from the projects of Pompano Beach. It was one of the wildest turns in hip-hop history. But freedom didn't mean peace. Being released didn't magically erase the drama, the pressure, or the target that fame had painted on his back. Kodak might have walked out of prison, but the storm around him was far from over. The legal storm wasn't finished with Kodak Black, not even close. By 2022, the system came knocking again. In January, he got arrested for trespassing, and just a few months later, things escalated when he was hit with oxycodone trafficking and possession charges after cops reportedly found 31 pills and nearly $75,000 in cash during a traffic stop. The case dragged on for years without a solid trial date, still hanging over him all the way through 2025. Then came another twist in December 2023 when Kodak was arrested in Plantation, Florida, this time accused of cocaine possession. The news went crazy, but the truth came out fast. Lab results later proved that the substance wasn't cocaine at all. It was prescribed oxycodone, and the entire charge got thrown out. Another public mess, another misunderstanding, but the damage to his image was already done. By February 2024, a federal judge sentenced him to time served for a probation violation. And by April, the last tampering charge was finally dismissed. After everything, over a dozen arrests, multiple prison stays, and even a presidential commutation, Kodak was still standing. It was like the system kept trying to bury him, but somehow he always found a way to claw back to the surface. Through all those years, one thing stayed true. Kodak Black couldn't move anywhere without eyes on him. Whether it was fans snapping photos, police watching his every step, reporters chasing a headline, or people waiting for him to slip, he lived under a microscope. Fame had made him larger than life, but it also made him a target every single time he stepped outside. So honestly, can anyone be surprised that when a Pizza Hut cashier suddenly pulled out their phone to record him, Kodak's first reaction was to leave? After everything he's lived through, is it really that hard to see why he'd spot a camera lens and instantly picture the worst case scenario? For someone with his past, one quick flash could mean chaos, but this moment had another side that most people completely missed. Standing right next to him that night was someone whose story added an entirely different layer of drama. That woman was Miranda Johnson, just 23 years old, and she's not just anybody, she's the mother of Kodak's 2 kids. They share a daughter born in 2022 and a son born in 2024. Their relationship, though, has been anything but peaceful. It's been a whirlwind of love, fights, and courtrooms. In August 2025, things exploded when Johnson filed a custody case in Broward County, accusing Kodak of domestic violence and unpaid child support. She claimed there had been serious abuse, even during her pregnancy, which allegedly left her with a dislocated jaw. The story spread fast, but here's what many didn't notice. No criminal charges were ever filed against Kodak for those accusations. And it didn't stop there. Johnson herself ended up catching legal trouble too. She was arrested for vandalism after reportedly smashing up Kodak's luxury cars and later faced a misdemeanor battery charge from a fight at their daughter's birthday party. The situation was messy on both sides, a mix of heartbreak, anger, and spotlight pressure. But by September 3rd, 2025, things finally cooled down. The custody battle officially ended with an agreed parenting plan, and every related lawsuit got dismissed. Still, for people watching from the outside, that Pizza Hut sighting wasn't just about Kodak avoiding a fan's camera, it was about a man trying to hold his world together while the weight of his past, his fame, and his family drama all collided in one moment. The fact that Kodak Black and Miranda Johnson were standing side by side in that Pizza Hut just 5 months after all that courtroom chaos spoke volumes. Anyone paying close attention could see it. Something had shifted. After everything, the accusations, the filings, the fights, the tension, they were finally trying to rebuild. Not for clout, not for headlines, but for their kids. It looked like, at least for that night, they were choosing peace over problems. But of course, the internet didn't care about healing or co-parenting progress. The internet only saw content, and it wasted no time turning a quiet moment into a viral circus. What happened next showed exactly why Kodak stays on guard every time a camera comes out. Because viral fame can flip into real danger in seconds. The video exploded online, no exaggeration. Within 24 hours of being posted to TikTok, the clip had spread across every major platform. On X, formerly Twitter, accounts like @MyMixtapeHez, @Tease, and @DailyLoud reposted it with captions clowning around about the cashier's panicked voice. It didn't matter what the real story was, people wanted laughs, not truth. Engagement numbers skyrocketed. @DailyLoud's post alone pulled in 5,975 likes, 165 reposts, and 125 replies by February 17th. And that was just the start. Over on Instagram Reels, the clip kept spreading like wildfire, racking up comments, reactions, and memes at a pace Kodak probably couldn't even keep up with. For most viewers, it was just another viral moment to scroll past. But for Kodak, it was a reminder that peace doesn't come easy when every move you make gets broadcast to millions. One cashier's excitement had turned into content for the world. And for a man with his history, that kind of attention never comes without a cost. From Facebook shares to YouTube shorts, that clip was everywhere. Every platform grabbed it, twisted it, and ran with its own version of the story. Some people thought it was straight up hilarious, and honestly, from one angle, it kinda was. Users like @Thabo.Batal called it pure comedy gold, praising the cashier's wild excitement and even giving Kodak props for how calmly he handled it. And yeah, you couldn't deny it. There was something funny about seeing a full-grown adult behind a cash register completely lose control just because a celebrity walked in for a pizza. The memes started flying instantly. People were joking, remixing the video, adding captions, duets, and over-the-top reactions. It turned into peak internet entertainment overnight. But while everyone was laughing, something darker started bubbling under the surface. Not everyone saw comedy, some saw fear. Others, like William 258118, openly questioned paranoia or just over it. That one question cuts straight to the truth of what it means to live under the spotlight in hip-hop 2026, because for rappers, that fear isn't made up, it's real, and it's rooted in history that's still too fresh to forget. To understand why Kodak reacted the way he did, you have to go back to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles in Los Angeles, September 12th, 2022. That's the day the hip-hop world lost PNB Rock, whose real name was Rakim Hashim Allen. He was only 30 years old, a father, a fiancé, a man with platinum records, and a bright future ahead. He walked into a restaurant for a meal and never walked out. The tragedy shook the industry to its core. According to reports, Freddie Lee Trone orchestrated the attack and sent his 17-year-old son to carry out a robbery that turned deadly. It happened fast, too fast, and served as a chilling reminder that fame in hip-hop can be a double-edged sword. So when Kodak sees a camera flash in a public spot, he's not being paranoid. He's remembering moments like that where a simple picture turned into something irreversible. That's the real reason that funny Pizza Hut clip hit deeper than most people realized. Surveillance footage later revealed the heartbreaking sequence of events. An accomplice named Tremont Jones had casually fist-bumped PNB Rock at 12:31 p.m., possibly eyeing the $500,000 worth of jewelry the rapper was wearing. That simple, innocent moment turned deadly minutes later. Freddie Lee Trone, the man accused of orchestrating the hit, was allegedly alerted, and by 1:16 p.m., a masked gunman walked into Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles armed and ready to rob. The shooter demanded PNB's belongings at gunpoint. What followed was only seconds long, a brief struggle, 2 gunshots. PNB Rock was hit in the chest and back and rushed to the hospital, but less than an hour later, he was pronounced gone. The world lost another young artist with talent, heart, and family, all because someone wanted quick clout and fast money. In 2024, justice came down hard. Freddie Lee Trone was convicted of murder, conspiracy, and robbery, earning 31 years to life. Tremont Jones got 12 years for his role in the setup. On paper, justice was served, but in reality, nothing could bring PNB Rock back. His children still had to grow up without a father. His partner was left with grief that time couldn't erase. And for the hip-hop community, the loss left a wound that still hasn't healed, and maybe never will. That's the backdrop everyone online remembered, whether they said it or not, when they saw that Pizza Hut video. On some level, every fan understood why Kodak Black reacted the way he did. When he saw that phone come out, he didn't see a harmless fan moment. He saw danger. He saw a possible location leak, a moment that could go wrong in seconds, a headline waiting to happen. To Kodak, that phone wasn't about fame or fun. It was a flashing red light reminding him that in this world, content can cost lives, and one wrong post could change everything. Kodak's reaction that night didn't come out of nowhere. He's been here before. This wasn't the first time he's drawn a hard line when it comes to people filming him without permission. Back in 2022, not long after PNB Rock's tragic death, Kodak went live on Instagram and called out a fan who was recording near his car. You could hear the frustration in his voice when he said, "You don't see what just happened to PNB Rock? So why are you recording me?" He wasn't trying to be rude, he was being real. He accused the fan of lying about their intentions and made one thing crystal clear. Random filming was something he would never tolerate. Not back then and not now. His message couldn't have been louder. Respect the boundaries or deal with the consequences. Even in 2025 at the Kentucky Derby, Kodak kept that same energy. When a woman kept pushing for a photo after he said no, he didn't argue. He just ignored her and walked away. No drama, no scene, just distance. His actions spoke for him. He wasn't going to let fame strip away his right to personal space. At shows, he's had fans throw water bottles at him, and instead of lashing out, he told the crowd on live stream to deal with it themselves. He's confronted hecklers, checked trolls online, and called out anyone trying to disrespect him or stir up chaos. Over the years, one pattern has stayed consistent. Kodak Black doesn't play when it comes to his safety, his privacy, or his peace. And yet, the Pizza Hut moment reveals something deeper, a side of Kodak most people never see. Because after all that tension, after all that fear and frustration, he still came back. He didn't lash out or lose control. He walked back inside, ordered his food, and finished the moment with a fist bump instead of anger. That was growth. That was a man choosing control in a world that keeps testing him every single day. He could have just walked out that night, gotten in his car, disappeared into the Florida night, and grabbed food somewhere else. But something in that moment stopped him. He heard the sincerity in the cashier's voice, he saw the regret in their eyes, and instead of letting frustration take over, Kodak made a choice to stay. He walked back in, finished his order, dapped the cashier up, took a few quick photos with the staff, and left the place on good terms. That's not the move of a man ruled by paranoia. That's the action of someone who's learned the difference between danger and human mistake. Kodak's been through enough to know when it's time to run and when it's safe to breathe. What happened that night wasn't about fear. It was about understanding, growth, and self-control. 2 days later, Kodak jumped online and dropped a video addressing all the trolls clowning him for being seen at Pizza Hut with Miranda Johnson. And he didn't hold back. He spoke his truth like only Kodak can, with that raw, unfiltered honesty that makes people stop and listen. He talked about being a father, about spending Valentine's Day with his kids, about doing something completely normal, just picking up food with the mother of his children. He brushed off the critics, calling himself the zookeeper and laughing off the drama. He made it clear that his focus wasn't on gossip or viral noise. It was on family, on his kids, and on living life by his own rules. And that right there, that message is the real point of this whole story, because the Pizza Hut incident was never really about pizza. It was about a man who's lived through chaos, danger, and fame, trying to hold on to normal moments while the world watches his every move. Kodak Black wasn't chasing attention that night, he was chasing peace. And somehow, in the middle of all that madness, he found a little bit of it. It was never really about a starstruck cashier or a viral clip, and honestly, it wasn't even just about Kodak Black. What happened that night pointed to something much bigger, something people in the hip-hop world don't always talk about out loud. It's the harsh truth that for artists living in the spotlight, even a quick food run can turn into a moment of danger. This wasn't just about fame, it was about pressure. It was about the reality that rappers can't move like regular people anymore. Even Chappelle R has spoken up, publicly begging fans to stop what she called predatory behavior disguised as fandom. And when Fat Joe said rappers were becoming an endangered species, nobody laughed because everyone knew he was right. That line between admiration and intrusion has never been thinner. Social media erased the space that used to separate celebrities from fans. Now people can comment, tag, and DM their favorite artists like their best friends, building these one-sided parasocial relationships where fans feel deeply connected to someone who doesn't even know their name. Most of the time, that connection is harmless, sometimes even beautiful, but there are moments when it crosses a line that can never be uncrossed. Families like PNB Rocks, Pop Smokes, and Draco the Rulers know this pain firsthand. They've lived it. They've lost loved ones because that invisible line between fandom and danger disappeared. And Kodak Black, a man who survived shootings, prison, and a legal system that's tried more than once to break him, he understands that risk better than almost anyone still standing in hip-hop today. So the next time you see your favorite artist out in public, before you grab your phone, before you hit record, before you tag their location and post it for the world to see, stop and think for a second. Ask yourself one simple question: is this moment about appreciation, or am I putting them in danger without even realizing it? Is this moment worth someone's life? That's the real question, because for Kodak Black, walking into that Pizza Hut on a quiet February night, that question wasn't deep or poetic. It wasn't something to debate with friends online or laugh about in the comments. For him, it was real. It was a split-second decision between finishing his meal in peace or becoming the next name on a list that's already far, far too long. That's the weight that fame carries in today's world. Every photo, every post, every innocent video can flip a normal moment into something that changes everything. What looks like a funny viral clip to the internet could be a life or death decision for the person living it. For Kodak, that night was a reminder that survival doesn't always look like running. It can also look like staying calm, making the right choice, and walking away with your life intact. If you want to see more stories that pull back the curtain on moments like this, click one of the cards on your screen and check out the next video.